Pathmic is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmic qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add Pathmic to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work and get access to 50% more qualified leads while you keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmic.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Emily Weaver from QFlow, Head of Marketing. How are you doing today, Emily?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you on, someone with your expertise. I'm loving it. So, I'm sure our listeners are tuning in, wondering what QFlow is all about. So let's kick it off with that. Emily, in your own words, can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. So QFlow Systems right now is a B2B software company. We built a platform for enterprise content management that we call QAction. And so it has records management, document management, business process automation, and workflow automation all in one platform. So you can kind of think of it as like the central hub for all of your company's data and information artifacts.
Okay, great to hear that. And so that way our listeners who are tuned in can get a good understanding there of QFlow then. What would you say is that key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
It's that tale as old as time of where is this document that I saved in this one place at one time that I need several years later. So it's just getting all of that. I guess you could think of it as like Google Drive, except it combines all of your apps into one area.
That's really nice to hear. So then who would then be is there a sort of vertical segment? Is there an ideal ICP there for QFlow, Emily?
Yeah, so overall, generally speaking, QAction would be perfect for any industry or any department that's really document heavy or a lot of data entry. But right now, most of our companies or our customers are actually in the federal government. So we have a lot of contracts with the government right now, but we also thrive in the healthcare space. So yeah.
All right, perfect. Yeah. And so say I was in the healthcare or federal government, how would I usually find out about QFlow? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
Right now, we're doing really well in the referrals and word of mouth space. Other than that, we're very active on LinkedIn. And but right now, if you know somebody who knows us, then they're probably going to tell you about us.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. And I think that's the best referral, right? Whenever you get someone recommending, I think it's always the best part. So awesome that you guys are doing or have that ability, right? And obviously, if it's referrals, and there's something that you guys are doing great. So awesome to hear that. And so that way, our listeners who are tuned in can go ahead and visit you. Then, Emily, they can always check you out at qflow.com. What role does the website play for client acquisition then?
Our website right now functions really well as a self-education and awareness piece for our current clients and also the clients that they refer to us. So they'll go to our website first to see what our capabilities are before they reach out to us, or we reach out to them. They're usually doing a little bit of self-education first. So yeah.
Awesome, Emily. So on that note then, is there any tools or tips or methods that you would recommend to our listeners as far as some website lead generation?
Yeah. So I guess like in terms of how to build your website or what to look for when you're building or tweaking your website, it's to make the goal of your website really clear. So normally websites are used to get leads or to educate your target or to build credibility. And so it's okay to want all of those things. In fact, you should want all those things, but you should prioritize which one of those goals is the end all be all. And then center your homepage, especially around achieving that goal.
Definitely. Okay.
Yeah. And so then past that too, like as soon as they get on your homepage, give them something to do right away, whether that's go to your products page, your demo page, or contact us page, whatever that next step in the journey is. Make sure that's the first button that they want to click.
Definitely super important. And then, well, let's switch gears a little bit then here, Emily, and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the head of marketing there for QFlow. What are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
Yeah. So I'm actually fairly new to my role at QFlow. So right now I'm focusing on laying the groundwork for the marketing machine that I'm building. So we're actually in the middle of a big website revamp, and some other efforts like internal comms and lead gen that I'm working on. So it's really just rolling up my sleeves and laying that groundwork and making sure everything's set up properly and set in place for us to execute our strategy effectively.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for it. And then that between time that if you would have some time available, how do you stay up to date with all those trends, strategies in the marketing world? Is there a specific channel that you like to go with?
Yeah, so I love a few LinkedIn influencers, like I like to call them. There's John Benini, Meg Scarborough, and Amanda. Not I'm gonna say her name wrong. I'll say Amanda N from SparkToro. And those three always have really great insights, and they're trying to break the mold and not trying to do the same kind of marketing things over and over. But outside of that, I don't spend I try not to spend a lot of time in the marketing echo chamber. And that's just to get different perspectives on people in different fields or departments to get their thoughts on marketing. And so I've gotten a lot of insights from just talking to people that aren't necessarily marketing people. And also another fun one is TikTok, and that's just a good way to stay chronically online so you can see the most popular things going on.
Definitely. I like going into LinkedIn a lot, and I hadn't heard that expression, LinkedIn influencer, but there is, right? I mean, there's people that have a lot to say on there. So definitely, I do follow a couple of those influencers. So great to hear that.
And I feel like LinkedIn has kind of shifted towards that kind of content, which I've learned a lot from. So I don't think a LinkedIn influencer didn't exist maybe 10 years ago.
Definitely. Yep, I would agree. And well, let's jump into our next section here then, Emily, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
I'm ready.
All right, perfect. First off then, Emily, what is the last book that you read?
That's a hard one because I read multiple at the same time. So 2 for professional development, Quiet by Susan Cain and Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. And for fun, The Lost City of Monkey God by Douglas Preston.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Great to hear that. Next up then is if there be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
So making social media content relevant and useful. So turning our social media listening tools into some kind of tool that can give us the social media content that our audiences want to see, kind of like giving us a first draft so we can build off of it. That would be so nice. And I think it would cut down on a lot of the useless content out there from companies who are just on social media because they have to be.
Definitely. Okay. Awesome. Great to hear that. And next up then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
A way to mass upload content on a website to where you don't have to go document by document, format each one. Like I mentioned before, we're going through a website revamp. And if I could just take all of our blog posts that we want to keep, upload them at once, and call it done, that would save me so much time.
Definitely. If someone's listening out there, they'll probably contact you. So yes. Awesome. And well, lastly, Emily, I mean, you have tons of experience already in the marketing world, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
So I do have to give past me a pat on the back because I did take a lot of chances and a lot of risks throughout my career that ended up paying off. So I got to give myself kudos there. But if I did have to go talk to Emily in 2014, I would tell her to go get her master's because I think a lot of bigger opportunities would be available to me sooner.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for that advice. So our listeners can take that into it as well. And well, Emily, we are coming to the end of the show. I do want to thank you. But before we do end, I do want to ask, say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about QFlow?
Hopefully you can cut the dead silence.
I could. We'll cut it out.
Okay. One thing to remember about QFlow is that we make doing your job easier by giving you all of your documents right there in front of you.
Well, there you guys heard it from Emily. You can always check them out at QFlow.com. Work simpler, work smarter. Emily, thank you so much for being on with us today. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to our next episode at Monk Presents. Thanks a lot, Emily.
Thank you.